Welcome to Damage Does D&D. We're back with our Tuesday campaign, Helloran Rising, episode 67. Only 2 more to go. Don't worry, it's going to be special. So, with all that said, we will turn ourselves over to the capable and intelligent hands of Gus, who will tell us exactly what happened last time. Gus.
Well, this elfie place is lovely. I don't know what Sprocket was worried about. The people are all very nice and have big old trees with rooms inside. Who'd have thought it? They also make stuff to drink. Not sure what it is. Not beer, but it tastes really good and got Yorick drunk very quickly. What a lightweight. I learned what it was like to fly as well. Brilliant it was. One of the little ones fell off the tree and Bridgris very bravely flew off to rescue her. But the elves made them float. It looked great fun. So I jumped off as well. Flying is brilliant. But walking back up's not so much fun. It was a great party, and friends made some light balls that all the children loved, including Bridgris, and had much fun. Then Sprocket was playing with Bridgris and the children, and they all looked to be having a whale of a time until Sprocket ran off into Florian's arms. I think he needed a cuddle. It must be taking a while to get used to being the right size. I do like my tail. I'm getting used to it now, and it does help with my balance, but I still haven't tried fishing with it yet. That's something to look forward to. We all had a good powwow in the morning after breakfast. Always the best to make plans whilst you're filling your belly. And some of the dwarves are going to head back out to look for more stragglers. And we're going to try and find a nice dragon to talk to stop the war. Shouldn't be a problem, right? I had lots of brilliant ideas. It's quite a responsibility being the brains of the group, but I'm up to the challenge. We decided that we needed to find a big dragon, preferably not a bitey one, to talk to start the peace process. And then I had another brilliant idea to go and rescue all the baby dragons underneath Daghold. Then we would have a peace offering to go to the big dragons. Simple, really. If we meet any of the stoneworm priesties that did all this, and if Yorick says they're baddies, then they are monsters, and we are monster hunters. We will smite them to bits and pieces for what they've done. For reorcs. Yorick suddenly remembered that he could send messages to people far away. That might have been useful during our journey, but then again, he doesn't have my smarts, so we'll forgive him. He spoke to his dad, and they are okay and still in the mountains. But I don't know how my mum is. I hope she's all right. I'd even accept a good scolding offer just to see her again. So, back we go to the mountains to rescue the baby dragons, protect the dwarves, and save the world. Just another day, really. I'm buzzing. No, really, I am.
That was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't think any detail was left out there. It was, yeah, and Gus canonically, that word, it's canon.
Canonically.
He's the brains of the outfit now.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'd follow Gus anywhere.
Any decisions that need to be made, Gus is your man. So, as we pick it up, you are journeying into the fire wastes, and as you have been blessed, buffed, warmed by the great forest of Drummond, you are not feeling the ill effects that you felt on the way in.
No, I'm buzzing.
Yeah, some of you, Gus is buzzing. Miette doesn't feel as though she's melting under all her fur. It just feels like a warm, sunny day, which is very odd because you can see in across the landscape these heat hazes that are happening, where almost sort of mirage type effects are occurring, and every now and again those flame gusts woof, out of the earth itself. So, with all that in mind, where are you headed?
Just a recap for me, maybe some of us. We're a couple of hours away from the path to, like, the separation between the woods and the fire wastes.
Well, you're sort of into the edge of the fire waste at the moment, so it would have been getting hot, but you seem strangely immune to that at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Obviously, the further, if should go. You can't really go east, but it's sort of eastwards back towards the mountains, or sort of north towards the fire waste. But the mountains are huge and they spread all along that way. So it's up to you. You can either go. There's at least one tunnel entrance where you found the original refugees and the Sapphire Dragon, or you can scout along the north of the mountain range.
There was another tunnel entrance where we found the dead refugees and it was blocked in.
Yeah,
And then there was the other lot with.
well, that was further south, wasn't it? So yeah, I mean, you could go back that far if you want. It's really entirely up to you which way you want to go. You can go for that tunnel, you could go for the tunnel where you found the alive refugees, or you can go further north in the hopes that there's a better tunnel with less dragon in it. Or you can bin all that completely and just go exploring into the fire wastes. Or back to Drummond, whatever you want to do.
Straight up the mountain climbing.
I'm up for it, but I don't know if everybody else is. Yara, Gus,
Yeah.
do you know? I know you're gonna know this far down the mountains, but do you know the areas of where there was different dragons when you used to go hunting them?
They were
Like-
everywhere.
They were, but they were also kind of hibernating a lot, and like lots of them were woken up at the same time. So it's difficult really to say where they were as to where they are now.
I'm just thinking if there was a specific sort of like north, east, south, west, sort of like where you used to go from your home to get dragons, if there's a particular place we can head towards to get one of the dragons that Ferenc said would be best to try and talk to.
Well, I think Gus's great smart plan was to try and get right into the depths of the mountain to rescue the babies, and then we've got a peace offering.
Yeah.
Or
And I
at least a
think the best
gesture
way
of
to do that is probably take the tunnel, because that'll come out near a Daggold, won't it?
I think the tunnel that the refugees came out of would be the quickest way, but whether that would be the safest way, no way to know. So I think we just go for it.
I think it's an excellent idea, Gus.
I mean,
Thank
when
you.
have any of our plans taken us the safe way through places?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you think about it, we know there's maybe one sapphire in there if it's still alive, right? But outside, there's hundreds and hundreds of great big ones flying around in the sky looking to roast people. So I think on balance, I think it's probably the safest route.
Back the way we came then.
Okay.
Yep.
So you start to head off back towards that tunnel. Who's heading this direction?
I'll be back at the front again. I was on the way out, so
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'll be up with Yorick, I think.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make you roll for it. It's an easy enough. The pair of you have walked this road. In fact, all of you walked this road with the refugees, so it's not particularly difficult to retrace your steps to the mountain. Just going to have a quick roll. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we're okay. You're fine.
Yeah, Chaz is okay, people. DM is okay.
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I get the noisy tower. That's more fun because it makes you freak out when I do it. Okay, so as you're walking along, the ground feels not as hot as it was. I mean, you can still see all these heat hazes and mirage type effects, and you can see every now and again, you see out the corner of your eyes, you think towards the north, you see something there, but when you turn round, it's completely gone. It's very weird.
As I'm walking, I'm gonna try and match pace with Miette as best I can. I know she's quite quick.
Okay.
Turns out I'm allergic to D&D. I cough wildly when I play it.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Apologies.
Maybe you're just too close to the backseat. You've developed an allergy.
As could be.
You're a cat, not a prawn.
I have a high fish diet, clearly.
I'm gonna walk next to Miette and just. So, do you have any stories about the fire wastes?
It's not generally an area we've been into much. You saw the delightful state it left me last time.
That's true. That's true. I just thought it may be worth asking. It is a bit concerning to think that Dakota may be out there somewhere, but
Well, to be honest, when it was suggested that she was captured by a god or a demon, I didn't think we would find her on this realm. I thought it would be another plane.
I mean, based on what we saw of where Peladas was, it could be both, really. I mean, none of the temples have really felt in our world. They just felt like there was entrances to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Gone through a lot of gateways since we started traveling together.
Mm.
Do you think we're in the same world that we started out in?
It's an interesting question.
Like maybe in another worlds, we didn't find Peladas and we didn't go through the hells. Or we didn't get a lift on the Chandri and they weren't killed by the creatures that are following us.
It's a lot of hypotheticals to be thinking about, though.
But this is where we get the stories from.
True.
Think of a world where Sprocket's transformation didn't hold, and the elves of the Great Wood found out who he was.
That would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly something to think about.
I mean, we could talk about the possibility of there being armories in the fireways that we know nothing about. Maybe there's even dragons there that the dwarves don't know about, that are basking in the warmth and the fire.
Perhaps there are dragons that the dwarves don't know about, and dwarves that the dragons don't know about.
It could be.
I mean, the way Celeste talks, she's from almost an entirely different world.
Exactly so. We should get her to help us with drafting these stories.
That's a brilliant idea. Let's see if I've got some parchment that won't
Excellent.
burn from being out in the air. And we'll just walk along nattering about pointless things.
Fair enough.
Every so often, especially as we get closer to sort of the fire wastes and walking along that path, I just want to do a couple of sort of looks on Sprocket to see if he's reacting like he was last time. Because he got a little bit woozy and a little bit.
I'm purposely walking on my own, not with off, just meandering on my own. But whether I react to something.
Are you at the front, back, sort of in the middle-ish?
Probably in the middle, but off to the side.
Yeah, I was going to say I was going to be at the back anyway.
Okay.
Sort of radiating, sort of like, fuck off and leave me alone vibe.
That's fair. Okay.
So, the usual.
Business
Paladin.
as usual, yeah.
This is Paladin aura.
That's just bait for Florian to come and talk to you then.
Make a perception check, Florian.
Yeah, I'm not going to, like Jada said, I'm not going up to talk to him. I'm just, because when we first...
just throw in a glance every now and again.
I use that dice at first every time and it fucks me over. Oh, that's not too bad. 17.
17. Every now and again, you just sort of glance across at Trelador or Sprocket or whatever he's calling himself this week, and he seems to be, I don't know, it's weird. He's not struggling, but he's not his normal easygoing walk that you've gotten used to in this dwarven form. He's just seems to be preoccupied, and also seems to be, yeah, if he's hurt, he's hiding it well, as he normally does.
Yeah.
And as you're only giving a cursory glance, you're not actually walking up to check him. He seems okay-ish.
That's cool. As long as he wasn't doing like he did last time a couple of times and kind of sort of like his legs buckled, then I'll leave him be, because I'm pretty sure I can tell if he's
seems to be okay at the moment.
pretty sure I can tell if he's given sort of like fuck off and leave me alone vibes.
Am I leaking at all?
You are, yes. It does hurt. But, you know, you're stoic. You can handle it. You're a dwarf.
I'm leaking.
I'm not a dwarf. I look like a dwarf.
If I'm last as well, I will also check behind us. More of a not more,
Okay,
more than
well,
a glance.
we can still
Yeah.
use that perception check. With 17 is pretty high. Behind you, you see in the distance the forest that you've just left, and again those sort of heat hazes that you get when you're in the fire wastes appear behind you as well. You're totally within the fire wastes now, on your way to the mountains. You're just on the edge. You suspect that if you went any further north, things would get pretty uncomfortable pretty quickly. Although you don't seem to be feeling any ill effects at the moment, which is weird, because when you were here yesterday, it was very unpleasant. It was very hot, and it doesn't seem to be like that today.
Yeah.
So, sure, or walking along. Celeste, you have a very high passive perception. As you're walking along, your companions are sort of splitting up into twos, singles even, just wandering along as you normally travel, as is your wont. You look up and you see dragons in the sky. Lots of dragons in the sky. They seem to be fairly high up. It's difficult to tell what colours they are at the moment, but they do sort of flash with the sunlight every now and again. And you get these bright sort of green, blue, red flashes every now and again. They don't appear to be doing anything other than just wheeling around in the sky. You know, like vultures do when they circle above things that are dead or about to be dead. They seem to be sort of concentrating in a particular area.
Gus?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but above us there seem to be lots of different coloured dragons circling. Do you know if that means anything?
Are they actually above us or up in the mountains?
No, they're in the mountains themselves, but you can see they're very high up, and they are sort of wheeling slowly in these big circles.
Would I know if that meant anything?
Not really. I mean, you've only really encountered single dragons before, not multiples, when you were hunting.
I don't know. Maybe they're dancing in the sky or something.
I'll keep a watch out in case they come any closer, because...
That's a good idea, because we don't want that many coming down to us, do we?
No, especially as we've got nothing to offer them yet.
Gus, where's Bridris right in a minute?
Right next to me.
Is she?
Sorry,
okay,
what?
cool. So,
Supposed to be.
yeah, okay. I couldn't remember whether you'd sent her away because of you.
No, she was with
playing in
the
the forest. Okay, cool.
And we curled up and slept. And
all right, okay. So yeah, she's happily bounce along beside
So
you.
I'd like to have a quick word with her if I can.
Of course you can.
Right, Idris, my lovely. We're going on an adventure now, and we're going to go and try and save some baby dragons. Now, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Really, Mum? Hang on. Baby dragons.
Baby dragons, little ones, like you were,
But-
when you hatched out your egg.
But are they in, like, trouble? Why are
Well,
we saving them? Why are we saving baby dragons?
Right,
What's
okay,
going on?
so there's some bad dwarves that hurt baby dragons, which is
What?
why I rescued you right at the very beginning.
Oh.
Right.
Wait,
So
hang on a minute. You rescued me. So what? You're not my real mum then?
as good as I didn't give birth to you, no, because
Right.
I'm a
So,
dwarf.
so where's my real mum then?
Your real mum died, I'm afraid, and she asked me to
What?
look after you before she died.
Oh no! How did she die?
I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was
Oh.
too busy taking care of you.
Oh, I feel quite sad now.
I know. I did too. But I'm here for you.
I know
So-
that. You're my mum,
Yeah,
and all the
so-
other mums as well. But you're my special mum.
Yes. So, right, we've got to go and try and sneak up into the mountains because there's a lot of dragons up there, and they might be bitey, nasty ones.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So what we're planning to do is we're going to go up a tunnel into the mountains,
Right.
and we're going to try and rescue the baby dragons from the bad dwarves.
Right.
But there might be some nasty dragons that want to eat
Well,
us.
hang on a minute. Right. So I'm a bit confused. So there's bad dwarves.
Uh-huh.
What are killing the baby dragons or
Yeah.
threatening them somehow? Don't know that. And there is bad dragons.
Yeah. There's good and bad in everyone, you see.
Right. I'm confused. You see, because we was fighting a dragon earlier,
Yeah.
and we was rescuing dwarves.
Yeah.
So now we're rescuing dragons, but we might have to fight dwarves. Is that
Yeah,
what you
we
saying?
might have to fight dragons and rescue dwarves on the way up there as well. So don't worry, I'll keep you straight. I'll tell you what's a goodie and a baddie so we know what we're doing.
Mum, my head hurts.
Don't worry about it. I'll look after you. And I'll give her a big kiss.
She licks you, and her tongue just like scrapes up the side of your face. She's like, oh, and she's like, oh, just so I know what's going on, obviously. But you will tell me which ones I can eat, though, right?
I will. Yes.
Okay, right. She's happily bouncing along beside you.
Cool.
You know when your DM's made you paranoid, because when that first started out, I thought, fuck, here we go.
What? What are you talking about? Anyway, as you carry on through the fire wastes, with I think Yorick and Gus and Ferenz up at the front, you pass the site of your battle with the Sapphire Dragon only the day before, 2 days before. It's difficult to tell how much time has passed from that. You can see the scorch marks on the floor, and the blood still doesn't seem to. The blood has dried and sort of not almost burnt on the ground. It's very strange. You can smell that sort of burnt iron smell as you walk through this battleground. And I'd like Gus, Ferenz, and Yorick to make perception checks, please. I'd also like Florian to make one.
Ooh,
I'm still keeping an eye on the dragons above us.
Yeah, you're good. That's fine.
21.
21. Nice.
Pretty good for me.
Yeah.
26.
26.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that, but 21.
21. So two 21s to 26, Florian.
And then we come down to Florian, 13.
13. Okay. Cool.
I mean, it's still double digits.
Yeah, it's not a bad roll by any chance. So, at the front, Gus, Yorick, Ferenz. You see along the pathway, well, it's not really a pathway, it's more sort of a just a sort of track almost, with footprints and marks from the battle. But you can also see what looks to be fresh claw marks and big dragon prints. I mean, you two dwarfs will know, and also Ferenz, you will know this is a dragon's foot that's made these prints. They look to be sort of, there's no sort of pattern to it. They sort of like obviously come back to the battle after it had finished. They're very fresh, about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours old. So do
Right.
what information you will with that.
You
Florian.
want to be a bit careful now.
Sorry, we'll get to Florian in a minute.
Is there any traces of scale in them that may have dropped off? Any chips of sapphire or?
Don't appear to be, no.
Okay.
You would expect there would be from the battle
Yeah.
that you had, but there are
Yeah.
none, which is odd.
And from the size of the print, would I be able to estimate that it's a dragon of roughly the same mass? Or is this
Yeah, with your
significantly larger?
very high perception check, I will say that it looked like it was the same dragon. You would estimate it's the same dragon that's come back for some reason and just wandered all across the battlefield.
What do you think he was doing here?
Well, I'm not really all that sure, but being the red-tempered gnarly buggers that the sapphires are, I'd say he's probably come back to try and get a better scent.
Get our scent.
I would say so, yeah. And I thinks that maybe he might try to hunt us, because the sapphires, if you damage their pride, I believe that this one, he got a pretty good pasting. They're not known to be the most friendly or forgiving.
Yeah, well, we're not really used to this situation, are we, Gus?
No, not at all.
Oh dear, I've been hunted by a dragon. This should be fun.
So, whilst
We
you're
want to avoid it if we can, so eyes peeled, alright?
So, while this conversation is happening at the front of the party, Florian, at the rear of the party, you get a sense that you're being watched. Something or someone it's just creepy. Somebody's watching you.
From a direction? Or watching
It's
like
just-
me?
It's just a feeling you get. Somebody is watching you. You feel like you're being watched.
Okay, I'll
You're still at the rear of the party, yes?
yeah, 100%. I'm going to slow myself down a little bit. Who's in front of me, by the way, before I do that?
Everybody?
Directly, like, next in line, as
I
it were.
would imagine it's going to be either Celeste or Miette and Melissa. Celeste is concentrating on the dragons at the top in the mountain range. So yeah, you probably Miette and Melissa seem to be deep in conversation, and Trelador is off to the side.
Okay. Well, before I do that, then I'll just be like, Miette, Melissa, keep walking.
Miette, you
You're
are
muted.
muted.
Miette.
Sorry.
All right.
Why?
I get the uneasy feeling we're being watched. Whether that coincides with anything going up in front, I don't know, but I'm fast. I know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to slow my pace down a little bit and see if I can pick anything up.
Just be careful.
You're
Will do.
going to slow down so you're easier to pick off at the end of the line.
Yeah, I'm going to slow down just to see if they're waiting for anything. I'm pretty fast, so and I can shout pretty loud if I need the help, but just pass the message on.
I will mention that in your eulogy.
Thank you, Madame Miette. It will be gracious of you if you do.
Perfect.
I'm not slowing down as much as that. I'm going to be absolutely miles away from them. I'm
No,
just going to
you're just hanging back and back and back to see if
But
anything
I'm gonna-
pops out.
Yeah, and I'm not going to try and make it not obvious, as if it's like the heat's
Ooh.
got to me or something.
Okay, make a deception check, please.
It would be quite a good eulogy, that. Florian. He was very fast, but not fast enough.
No, why have I picked up 2d20? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Optimism.
Doing the old cliche, just tying my shoelace.
Okay, 14. It's not too
14.
bad.
Good to know.
It's with a +1.
Okay. So, you let the rest of the party sort of naturally increase the distance between you and them. How far are you letting them go ahead of you?
Maximum, I reckon it would be like 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay.
Yeah. Maximum.
So you carry on, just sort of dropping back and dropping back until you're about 30 feet behind. And you hear in your head, zombies. No. I couldn't help this. It's all I got in my head. You hear in your head Dakota's voice. Florian, I can't feel you. She's not here. I'm gonna make a break for it. If you get this message, please. I don't know where I am, somewhere hot. It's too hot. That's it.
Fiddy being Fiddy and Florian being Florian. 100%. Yeah, seriously, like 100% Dakota's voice.
I mean, it sounded like it. You can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah, I only say that because there's been conversations we've had out in the field at night time and stuff like that, what I've had about certain stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm, super
Are
paranoid.
you
Super.
insight checking your own sister?
I've done it before, and I'm not. It's not going to stop me from doing it again to make sure that.
I mean, to be fair, Florian
How
has
many
insight checked everything.
How many times have you told me not to run into a trap?
I mean, that's fair.
Doesn't matter. Fuck me.
What'd you
Natural
roll?
one.
Natural one.
Natural one. Yeah. It's
I mean,
Dakota.
It's absolutely Dakota. Why would it be anybody else? It's a ridiculous thought process.
With
Definitely her.
hearing that,
Yeah.
did it feel like that was potentially what was watching, or
With
have I still got that
With
watching?
an insight check of Nat 1? Yeah. Probably. You don't know. It's you felt
No,
like
what
you
I'm
were
saying
being
is
watched, and then this message appeared in your head.
Yeah.
So whether that's linked or not, you don't know.
Whether Florian makes the extrapolations.
I'll give it 5 minutes,
Okay.
and then I'll catch up with the group again, unless anything happens in between that 5 minutes, and I will make sure to make haste.
We're about to find out. Okay. So you wait your 5 minutes. Do you reply back to that message or not? Or was that not even a thought that crossed your mind?
It wasn't a thought from how you'd worded it.
Okay.
It was almost like it was an answer phone message. What is like being left on repeat by Dakota, where she can't feel me. She's going to try and escape. She's not there. I'm trying to get hold of you, pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. Thought I'd ask.
Please leave a message after the screams.
Leave a message after the ritual disembowelment has happened.
The Florida you are looking for is currently having existential crisis. Please leave a message.
And
So- Sorry, carry on.
just for clarification, we'd figured out that Dakota was being kept in the Hells, was it? Fiona's home territory?
What Vale said, she's being kept in the Temple of Amash.
Yes.
We're pretty certain that Amash is somehow aligned with Fiona.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
Chaz.
you don't know where the Temple of Amash is.
No.
But, you know.
This seems like a possibly good place for it.
I mean, the fire wastes.
We were,
Yeah.
no, I think we were suggested that it was in the Fire West by someone. I think possibly Vale as well.
I mean, yeah, I think she did, yeah. Yeah, she actually told you that the Temple of Amash was in the fire wastes.
Okay.
So,
I may not have been there though, so I didn't. I don't know that.
I think you were present for that conversation.
You were
She
busy
was-
throwing rings away around.
While
Yeah,
we,
Vale kind of had us hang all on her words.
so as we move on, friends just start to quietly sing like an old sort of work song from sort of back home in
Okay.
Draconic.
Okay.
The general gist of which is about hearth, home, the land, and sort of just generally family and things like that. And it was an old song that was one of the many that was sung by the clan
Okay.
as they worked.
So are you singing this to yourself, or are you singing it?
It would be out loud, and obviously Gus and Bridris will probably understand it.
Yep.
And obviously some of the themes would probably resonate very much so with the dwarf.
Yeah. So yeah, let's Gus. Ferenz starts singing first, slowly, lowly, but gets louder, and you can hear it. And Bridris kind of looks at you, Ferenz. Actually, make a Gus. Can you make Bridris a straight intelligence check, please?
Okay. Give me a second. Intelligence. Ooh. 1.
1.
Natural 1. That was 2 minus 1.
Fantastic. She looks at you, Ferenz, and sort of bobs her head a little bit as you're singing. Nothing else seems to register with her.
Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
Gus, you get this song and these feelings of the land and work, and is there anything about the might of dragons in it, or is it just literally a
So
work song?
there's passages about drawing strength from the land, and the dragons are part of the land. So it's sort of there's a lot of metaphor and allegory in there because the dragons are tied to the land and the elements.
Okay, fair enough. So Gus, you get all of that.
Probably be bobbing my head along with it as well.
Okay.
Has anything happened within 5 minutes, or can I make it up to?
No, nothing is particularly has happened in 5 minutes.
So I'd hurry up back to Celeste.
Catch up
and
with those two.
Celeste, and Melissa.
Yeah, catch up with those two, no problem.
I'm not entirely sure if anything's watching us, but I kind of got what felt like a message on repeat from Dakota.
Okay.
She said that
What did she say?
she's not here at the minute, and she's going to try and make an escape for it. we're right pretty much near the fireways, aren't we? That's where
I mean, we're in them right now.
Vale potentially said this.
Yeah, she did. She said the Temple of Amash was somewhere in here, and that Dakota would likely be being held in there.
If I'm this close and potentially not a threat anymore, I gotta find out.
I mean, if she does get out of there
If she does
on
get
her
out of
own
there,
in the fire wastes,
she won't last long in the
That's
heart of them. They're mostly
why
uncharted. There's no paths through them. You saw how much the fire waste was affecting us when we went past them, and we're barely on the edge.
Mm.
And whatever this boost from the forest is, we don't know how long it'll last.
I gotta try though. I'm literally right here.
No, I understand that we
No,
need to
that
try, and if we
makes
can, we must
absolute
rescue her.
sense.
I'm
And
just
if we can get her to safety, then that's one last thing we need to worry about Fiona trying to do.
I am just advising you of the dangers that will be facing us.
I think you need to advise the rest of the group if they decide to just veer off here. I'm going for it whether people do or not.
Are you able to get a sense of where she is?
No, I tried to get a sense of where we were being watched from and if it was Dakota, and I have no idea.
Did we not have a talk before about your tendency to go off and do things on your own, and how that needed to come to a stop?
We did, but I never had a conversation with you guys before I did them. So progress is progress, right?
That's fair, but it might still not be good if Fiona comes into possession of both you and your sister, even if Sprocket now has the mark.
Maybe not, but with being so close and potentially...
No,
Florian, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not trying to talk you out of this. I'm trying to say to you that we need to get the others to stop and talk them into it.
yeah. We're not. I know I'm certainly not going to let you do that alone.
Oh, we'd better talk to the others then. And I'll kind of like hands round mouth and guys, can we just stop for a couple, please?
Not a good idea to stop when we're being hunted by a sapphire dragon.
Well, at least sorry.
Oh, did we not tell you? It's been back and it looks like it's hunting us.
Yeah, there were tracks back there, and it looks like he's come back to where we fought it. Well, where you fought it the first time, and if I know them sapphires, they're pretty good to hold a grudge. So he's most definitely a very gnarly individual, and I would say that he's very, very not happy.
If the dragons are still pacing around the fire wastes, she's in more
Okay. You're not gonna know anything about what I'm about to say, friends.
Have you stopped?
I think we're still walking. As we were talking, we were walking.
Okay, so as you were talking, you're walking. Celeste, are you still scanning the dragons, or are you paying attention to this?
I'm sort of scanning for dragons, and then I'll listen, and then I'll do a quick scan again.
Okay, Yorick, how about you? What are you currently focusing on?
I'd have probably just be looking at Commodore.
Okay.
Sorry, Florian.
Oh, okay. Florian, right. Okay, that makes a difference. Okay. What's your passive perception? Yours is quite high as well, isn't it?
Mine, yeah, it's pretty good.
Mine's 24.
Okay. But you're busy talking to Florian at the moment.
He's just told me that I don't know anything about what he's about to talk about, so I literally am not paying attention.
Well, whilst that conversation was occurring, Yorick, you see just a bit away from you, just about 20, 30 feet, Trelador or Sprocket fall to his knees with a sharp inhalation of air. He falls to his knees, clutching his chest.
I'll bolt straight over to him.
Okay. You find him.
Hey, Trocket. You're right. Hey,
Yeah, I'm fine. Yes. It was really unpleasant. And I'll just sort of rub where there.
So as you rub that, you can see his hand is covered in blood.
oh shit, mate! No, we need to get you out of here.
It's fine. I can cope. It's fine.
Come on, I'll try and like lift him with an arm over my shoulder.
Sure.
It's fine.
You're pretty strong, aren't you?
I'll try and resist.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll do a contested strength check. You can have advantage, Yorick, because you are just helping him, and he is not entirely his normal self at the moment.
Rubbish. 4 + 9, 13. Yeah.
13. Oof.
13.
Yorick?
Well, I first rolled and it was 20, and then you said advantage, so I re-rolled, and it's now 23.
23. Yeah, you pull him to his feet easily enough, sort of get an arm round his back, sort of pull him up, pull his other arm over your shoulder, and pick him up. As you do so, you can see his chest just starting to. It's very strange. The blood has come through in that pattern that you've seen before in his chest, but it's just sort of very slowly drifting out of his chest in that pattern. It's really weird. You know, like iron filings on a sheet of paper when you play with them? It's like that, but in blood.
That's new.
Yeah, we need to get you out of here.
Which direction? Is it just straight out, or is it like
it's
like Donnie Darkoing it? Is it like a trail?
Kind of, yeah. It's sort of pointing towards the north.
If I turn a little bit, does the blood trail point that way?
It does.
I seem to be a compass.
And as you turn that way, you take another 6 points of damage.
Well, the question of how we navigate the fireways has been solved.
Yeah, right. Okay, we need to.
Would it be fair to say that obviously I would have been talking whilst that would have been happening, so I could have filled everybody in?
Well, as you were talking, having this conversation, you watched as Yorick rushed across to Trelador. So it's up to you whether you've stopped talking or you want to carry on that conversation.
Yeah, I would basically seeing that and seeing this compass of basically blood coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's you. If you're further away, it's only Yorick and Trelador himself that would notice this. You guys are sort of like 30 feet away from them.
Well,
so
yeah,
the blood is only coming out just little tiny drips. It's not like a big gush of like 12 foot long. It's like a couple of centimeters. Yeah, it's not the bat signal, okay?
Yeah, so just something as we walk and talk over to Yorick and Sparket. My sister contacted me. I think it was like a message on a loop, quite possibly, but
what's a message on a loop?
It's like repeating it over and over again until I heard it.
Oh, right. Okay.
But she said she was going to try and escape from where she was, and Vale told her she is potentially around here, and I gotta figure it out where she is.
Right. Mr. Florian, can I ask a question? So, with this, has this got anything to do with you and I forgot his name. The angry one over there.
Yeah. So originally I had and still have the scar, but it was bleeding on me, and me and my sister are apparently what brings about the end of days and a prince of hell to this world.
Right. So it would seem like an exceedingly bad idea to go and find her in the fire wastes then, because if you being together is what brings about the end of the world, that seems like a singularly bad idea.
Potentially.
Wasn't there something you
there's-
said
there's-
about that if Fiona got hold of that symbol, then everything would be finished.
Well,
So
there's-
we can't take Sprocket in there, can we?
No, we can't.
It is.
Can't leave him
more-
out here on his own.
And
I think
she needed my blood, and I don't think she needs it anymore. It's Sprocket, because he's got the curse.
I think
Okay,
it was more specifically about having both of them within her grasp, more so. So if we can get her to safety,
okay, but what
that's the most
happens if?
important thing.
But what happens if she's just been given the illusion that she can escape to lure Mr. Florian and Mr. Sprocket out here to then capture you all and then bring about the end of days?
That's entirely something that Fiona would do. But
So
at
I
the
come
same
back to
rate,
my point that is an exceedingly bad idea to go further into the wastes.
it's also an important point that we can't leave her.
But them being together brings about the end of the world.
Them being together in Fiona's grasp, well, if we can pull her away, then we have more of a shot of keeping our world safe.
We've also got to end the war with the dragons, haven't we? And save all the dwarves.
There's a lot we've got to do.
Right. Well, coming over with Calidor. Bracket. Well, I've been told by Reox, right, that the order of operations are get to the mountains, get the dragons on side somehow. We think we've got a plan for that. And then the dragons can help us with this potential end of the world situation. So we need to do that first before we can go deal with the other thing.
What if we did them at the same time? Because we don't know where anybody is, as in Dakota. But you went for the dragons, and if anybody else wants to come with me, for my sister.
Well, that's never been a bad idea, splitting the park. I mean, you let us dwarves for doing stupid things, and you say something like that.
Okay.
I may be late to this sort of discussion, but I thought you couldn't go.
It's the blood, and the blood's now coming from you. So I don't.
How do you know that?
Your blood's still your blood.
I know it is, but it was the curse put on the blood. I think this is what I'm trying to say.
You think?
I don't know, do
Well,
you?
am I the one being killed over in pain with blood pissing out of my chest, Sprocket?
The reason you're nuts because of reorcs.
I may or may not have a solution.
Oh.
Do you have something that was your sister's? Or would you consent to me using you because because you are blood related?
They're twins.
Oh, that might work even better.
Just quick question. No real reason. How close is Tralador to Florian right now, would you say?
I'd say we're within a 15-foot radius, 100%.
Okay.
If we were pretty much like in a circular type thing.
Okay.
Or having a discussion.
Yeah.
Is the blood doing anything weird?
The blood.
Weirder.
Well, yeah, weirder. You mean? It's strange. You feel drawn to Florian more than you normally do. He's special. You need to be near him.
Can I try and resist it?
You can make a wisdom saving throw.
You've been trying that for the past 7 episodes.
Oh,
Natural one.
ow!
Is this at advantage at the moment because of the buff from the
Yeah,
forest?
yeah, is that advantage because of the buff?
Because that was a natural one.
Well remembered. Florian,
Mhm.
make a
18.
Constitution saving throw for me. 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the feeling your blood needs to be with Florian. You feel this irresistible urge to go, but you just like, hang on a minute, that's not me talking, that's something else trying to force me to do this. And you know you do not like being told what to do. Strangely, and I know how I picked up on that, but you managed to sort of stop in your tracks as you were just about to take a step towards it. How did your Constitution saving throw go?
Right, so it was just wisdom saving throws from the buff, wasn't it? I've lost my piece of paper. What I
it's just wisdom saves.
Yeah, wisdom saves.
Only 10.
Only 10.
Yeah.
Okay. You take 3 points of damage as your chest starts to hurt once more in that same manner that you were used to. And you think, that's really unpleasant, but make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
What is happening?
Oh, fuck me. I'm glad I had advantage. Natural 20 on one of them.
Okay, for a total of?
23.
23. So again, as you take a step towards Trenador, you think better of. This is not... You didn't want to do that. Something was trying to make you get to Trenador.
Something ain't right here, guys. My chest is hurting again, and you'll see me backing away from Trellador.
Yeah,
Do you
get
feel
away
it
from
too?
me.
No,
Yeah.
why
All
are
of
you?
you.
Why are you acting so strange? Now, what I was going to say is I've got a really good idea. Now, because Mythiless said you were twins, I might be able to use you as a focus for my scrying spell.
Let's just be careful right now.
I undo my shirt, Chaz, and see if the bleeding started again.
For
Just
your
whilst they're doing it.
information, Tyrans, Fiona's domain is primarily blood and flesh. And why do I get the feeling we're not being watched or being tracked by a dragon?
I don't think any of you should be close to me right now.
Right. So what Mr. Florian said is she may have escaped. So if she's on this plane, I should be able to find her.
She said that she wasn't there.
I think if anyone should go and look for Dakota, it should be me.
Nobody's going alone.
Nobody's going.
You have a mission to do with the dragons, which is very important. But we cannot leave Dakota to fend for herself, and Florian is not able to go if he's starting to bleed again, just like before. I can move quickly, I can move quietly, and I can heal her.
I'm starting to understand why it takes so long for you lot to get things done.
What takes so long is people making fucking stupid decisions and suggestions. Nobody's splitting up. We're going to the mountains, we're sorting shit out there, and then all of us are going straight to sort this out here. Nobody's splitting off. That is a ridiculous suggestion. Stop it.
None of us are going anywhere away from the mountains, Yorick. But we need to deal with this right now because Sprocket and Florian are not doing okay.
I'm doing all right.
You'll see Gus turn to Yorick with a sort of stunned, open mouth expression. Never heard Yorick speak like that before in his entire life.
Yorick seems very angry.
Keep on alert.
In fact, I've not let go of Sprocket at this point, and I'm now just trying to drag him off back to the mountains.
Yeah, I'm at least now 30 foot away from Trellisok.
Stay on alert.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to Florian.
Are you sorry? Once everybody's getting a bit. Trellador, are you resisting Yorick's pull?
No. No.
Okay, that's cool.
No,
So,
as long as he's dragging me away from Florian.
absolutely, he's dragging you towards the direction you were originally going in, towards the mountains.
As I'm being dragged away, I'll look over my shoulder. I want to see how Florian's reacting. Like, is he still having the pain? Is he still, being a wuss about this?
Are you still being a wuss about this? It hurts, but nowhere nearly
No,
as badly as it used to.
No, anybody close to me at that point would have seen that I've checked my chest. I've opened my shirt. It's not bleeding. It's just like an ache, with like bad pain in my chest. But I also, what you will see, you won't hear it, but what you will see is me with a panicked face and saying to everybody who's near me, I've just got another message from Dakota. She said that she's back and we need to run, and then it just cut off. I think we're near the temple. I think we're We got to get out of here, especially.
I think we're near the temple, and I think Amesh knows we need to get moving. Are you okay to move, Florian?
I'm fine. I can move a lot faster than you. And what I'm going to do, Chaz, is there still greenery next to us?
No.
Or is it now? So can I loop round either way? Where left or right? If I'm going towards where we were going to originally, can I loop round in at least a 30-foot radius of Trellador and Yorick?
Sure.
And I'll do that on the non-expansive flyaway side.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Towards the south.
Back towards the mountains where we were going.
Sure.
And I am just going to get it so I am. Yeah, like. Fuck no, I'm not. I'm just going to go 30 foot to the right, essentially, as if you picture it, if we're walking upwards. Sure. And so, just stay away, at least 30 foot away from Trellador.
So Florian rushes out to the side. Yorick is sort of half carrying, half dragging Trellador towards the mountains.
As he's dragging me, I just want to look over at Yorick, and you haven't seen him sort of act like this before, and just go, what is going wrong with me? What is happening to me?
I don't know, mate. We just need to get you away from here.
Need to get me away from everyone, and we cannot go after his sister.
I know.
I'll grab Sprocket's other arm and put it around my shoulder, and between the two of us, we'll make it go a bit faster.
Okay.
And I'll just say, "Help me."
I thought that's what we were doing.
We got you.
Don't worry, you're one of us now. And that was very impressive, by the way, Yorick.
I'm not one of you.
Yeah, you are. You're a dwarf now.
I look like a dwarf. This is a conversation for another time.
And I'll be like, Melissa, Miette, just catch up with the others. I can catch up with you. I just need to keep away from Trellador for the time being. Just run.
What's Florian's speed?
Big. Very fast.
Without using my bonus action, I can move 110 feet. If I use my bonus action, it's 165.
Yeah, he's quick. Don't monk shit.
Don't monk shit.
Just promise me one thing, Florian, that you're not going to be a fucking moron. Okay?
And I'll kind of, not just because you see him to go to shout something, and then all of a sudden you just see him pull his empty pockets out and go, I can't be.
What?
Insinuating, if you pick it up, that obviously the past couple of fights we've had, I've had the well. I don't have it anymore.
Can I look to the north? I want to see if I can see any movement.
Sure, make a perception check.
I'm also going to be kind of frantically looking around.
Make a perception check.
26.
Most of us are.
Nice. Okay, so Celeste, looking towards the north, where you're sort of now moving further east towards the mountains, you see mirages, heat hazes, that sort of strange floatiness that you get out in the very, very hot deserts, and fire gouts exploding almost. And you swear, just at the edge of your vision, you're not sure. I mean, 26 is a high roll. There's a figure there. It's kind of, it reminds you a little bit of Vale, but just for an instant, it's sort of made of fire and stands watching as you carry on walking, and then it's gone.
For perception, I rolled a natural 20,
For
but I still got lower than Celeste. So I got a 25.
25. Well, indeed, natural 20, 25. And you're looking everywhere, or trying to. Okay.
Yeah, mostly in the fireway, so I'm not
Okay,
worrying
so-
about up at the mountain.
All right. So you also see this figure. You know it's not Vale because it's not Vale.
Does it clock as Vienna?
You can't be sure. Even with your 25, you suspect that it is Fiona or one of her minions appearing in her form, or I mean, it might even be Vale, but if Vale was on fire, it's really very strange. And again, it just vanishes. There's an almost audible as it does so, as if the air rushes in to fill the gap of this thing.
Kind of noting, keep moving.
Okay. So, up at the front, the three dwarves rushing along. Well, two dwarves and the recently reconfigured Trellador rushing along. You two assisting, and Bridris is looking concerned at all of you, but especially Yorick. She's never really seen any of you really angry, apart from Trellador, but she figured that was just Trellador's default setting. Yorick, she seemed annoyed, but not really very cross, and she seems to be sort of just to the side, just sort of keeping a distance from you, Yorick. But she's sort of on Gus's side, sort of every now and again looks across at you to see if you're going to shout at anyone. But we go on. After an hour or so, you reach the camp where you first encountered the refugees. And it's obviously there are places where you can sit and rest if you wish to.
This was the entrance to the cave, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And this was
the tunnel entrance that they came out of.
yeah. So we've now walked up the path to that.
No, you haven't walked up the path. You're at the base of the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're out of the fireways as such. It's still warm here, but you're at the base of the mountains where it's,
Yeah, I just.
But you haven't gone up the mountain path. That would be back to the east. Sorry, back south. Apologies.
Yeah.
Let me grab a map up. Probably be easier.
I think I know where we are, but it's in my head because when we met them, I thought we came down like a little incline or decline.
Yeah, that's the way you were coming.
Yeah.
Let me just.
But now we're coming at it from that way rather than coming down on it.
Right. Okay. Got you.
So I will show you. Let me just.
So as we walk towards this, essentially where you came down to meet them for the first time, is on your right.
See, you've come across here into the fireways, sort of this edge of the fireways here, and then gone towards the mountains.
Mm.
Yeah, so you're about here roughly.
Yeah.
Where you met the refugees. The path you came down was through the squeeze and down here. Okay?
Yep.
So the cave that you found along here, when you were coming down the path, is a different one than you found the refugees in. You found some dead dwarves in this one, in the little one up top, but the one you're at is where the live dwarves were running away.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Everybody know where they are?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Right, why don't you all take a breather here and have a little rest, because it's been a long trip so far. I'm just going to go and scout up the cave and see if I can find anything up there. All right?
Do you want some company, Mr. Gurst? Do you want me to watch your back?
No, it's all right. This is what I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm still
watch on these lot.
I'm still at least 30 foot away from the group.
Okay.
Mainly Trellador, and I'll be like at the back again, so I'm still closest to like the fireways.
Trellador, as you see, as you're sitting with Yorick, and Gus gets up and starts to scout. Are you taking Bridges with you?
No, I'll leave Bridges behind.
Okay. Bridges positions herself on the opposite side of Trellador, but she's basically putting Trellador between her and Yorick, because she remembers she was quite rude about Yorick at one point, and now she's a bit not scared but wary as Gus disappears off. Trellador, your chest seems to have calmed. The intense pain has gone. The blood appears to be just normal blood again. It's not reaching out for anything. It's not pushing you in any direction. You can't feel that control in your mind anymore.
Okay.
So, Gus.
I'll just
Sorry.
sit there. No, I'll just sit there and sort of stare into the middle distance, not sort of making eye contact with anyone.
Okay. Gus.
I'll go into stealth mode and start doing my dragon checking. So I want to go up the tunnel, maybe about 10 minutes or something up the tunnel, just to see, because they said there was a load of dwarves fighting up there as well to protect them. I also want to see if I can find any sign of this sapphire buried away anywhere.
Okay. Make a stealth roll for me.
Natural 20 for 32.
32.
Hey, I'm a dragon hunter.
Exactly. As you are sort of walking away, the rest of you sort of, 1 minute Gus is there, the next minute
he does a snow.
Gone. He is literally, you cannot see any or hear any trace of him whatsoever. Yorick, you've seen this kind of behaviour before from Gus. He is totally switched on. He's in hunt mode. So, you stealthily make your way up this pass into this cave entrance. You notice that the difference between last time, the rocks have been smoothed over as if something has sort of burrowed its way back into this cavern. You can see traces of, you suspect, that sapphire coming in and out, using this as an entrance to a lair, which makes you a little bit concerned about the party of dwarves that were here. Make a survival or perception check for me.
They're both the same, so I'll do a survival.
Survival, okay.
17.
17. Yeah, you've definitely passed signs of this sapphire passing here, for sure. You can see that telltale little groove in the rock wall, the rock ceiling, as where its wings have just sort of smoothed out the rock surface, probably leaving a very small deposit of sapphire on them.
Yeah.
You can tell that telltale little glitter. And you, walking up further, you stop and you listen for sounds of battle, and there are none. But you can smell, as you walk further up, you can smell that blood smell. You know there are going to be bodies up here.
Mm.
Do you want to go up further, or are you?
Yeah, I definitely want to go up further. I want to go and see what the damage is.
Okay. So you wind your way up this tunnel sort of curves and snakes its way almost up into the mountains, and then sort of drops down again at a fairly steep incline, and you come to a rockfall where it looks as though this has been deliberately damaged so that the rock has fallen. You recognise hasty dwarven workmanship to make this rockfall happen. And as you check it out, there are bodies of dwarves, mangled, bitten. You've seen this before. It's dragons have obviously happened to these dwarves. But also, there is a large clawed foot sticking out of this rockfall of an emerald dragon.
Emerald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you have seen emeralds before. They're very rare. They tend to be very difficult to find. They're equally as nasty as sapphires, but a lot more intelligent, a lot more cunning. They're a lot trickier to find and hunt. It looks like this one was fighting these dwarves, and that's possibly what your refugee party was running from, and what these guys were left behind to fight.
And they dropped the ceiling on its head.
Looks
basically.
like they dropped the ceiling on it.
And can I tell from the claw whether it's dead or alive?
Make a nature check for me. With advantage because dragons.
Yeah. Oh, that's not very good. 6.
6. I mean, it's not moving. Do you want to touch it?
Yeah, I'll just poke it a bit.
Poke it a bit. Doesn't move.
Okay. Can I look around and see if I can see the sapphire anywhere or any evidence of it coming through here?
Sure. Make again survival, or it'd be a survival check because you're checking for traces of it.
Only 9 that time.
I
Obviously,
mean,
been put off by all the dead bodies.
yeah, there's still evidence that the sapphire has been here. Whether it's been here recently, you don't know.
Okay. So, is there any other way through that I can see other than this drop tunnel?
I mean, possibly you might be able to sort of unblock it.
I wasn't thinking about unblocking it completely, but making enough space for us to sort of make a tunnel through it.
Yeah, it should be fairly easy. I mean, the tunnel that you're standing in, where the rock fall is, it does sort of go up at a very steep angle. You'd probably have to get ropes and pythons and stuff to climb it, but it looks as though the sapphire probably went that way. But you would have to be rock climbers to be able to get up that tunnel. Whereas the rock fall itself, you suspect leads up towards Daghold again.
Yeah, that's what I meant, was to where the rock fall is. Is there any way
you could
making a hole through the rock fall?
Yeah, with a couple of dwarves, you should be able to do that, and some help from your lesser stone-minded fellows.
Okay. In that case, I'll check the bodies to see if there's anyone I know first of all, and then back down.
Yeah, there are people here that you know, not immediate family members, but people you've hunted with before. It looks they're in the same sort of armor as you. They were obviously monster hunters, dragon hunters. They died defending their people from what looks like this emerald.
I'll whisper a very quiet little prayer to Riox for them and then head back down.
Okay. So, while Gus is off on his exploration, which is going to take a good 20 minutes, half an hour, what would the rest of you like to be doing?
I'm going to, once we're settled down at the camp, I'm going to, where are Florian and Sprocket currently?
Well, Trelador, I believe, or Sprocket rather, is with Yorick, as far as I'm aware, with Bridges the other side of him.
And I'm basically at the rear again, so I'm closest to the fire waste, at least 30 foot away from Trelador, as it seems to have at the minute no impact on either of us. Looking out, I'm looking out at the fire waste to see if I spot anything, dragons.
Make a perception check whilst Melissa tells me what she's up to.
I'm gonna wander over towards Sprocket and Yorick. And once I'm about 5-10 feet away, I'll say, "Is everything all right now? How are you feeling, Sprocket?"
Fine.
You certain?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I take a look at the wound? I want to make sure that there's no more active magic going on.
Well, it did something weird, so it's obviously progressed.
I have a suspicion about what happened out there. And it's, well, do you mind if I take a look, or would you rather leave it and let it heal?
Well, it doesn't really matter because when it heals, it just happens again, doesn't it? So might as well look.
And I'll go over with his permission.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to kind of look at it and see if I can
What
make
are you
sense
looking
of.
for?
Given that I know a little bit about blood magic, I just
You
want
do.
to see if there's anything active here or if it's just
Okay.
dormant.
Give me
Insight check the wound.
Give me an Arcana check. Because it's to do with blood magic, you can have advantage.
Popped up against my new notebook. 19.
19. As you look over it, it definitely reminds you a little bit, looking at it now. It didn't before, but it does now. It reminds you a little bit of when you perform your blood magic. It doesn't seem to be active currently. There doesn't seem to be anything going on with it. It seems to be just a nasty chest wound at the moment. But yeah, there's nothing inherently magical about it as far as you can tell. Right
Okay.
It seemed to act as like a compass. And then when Florian was around, the urge was to go towards him.
Yeah. I take a moment. Sorry. Focus. What was going on there, I think, is that the brand that's on you and to a similar extent the one that's on Florian were activated. The same way that I used to ignite my arrows from my own blood. The wound would persist and hurt quite a bit. Not hugely in my case, but when the magic was active, you get what I mean. It doesn't
I
seem
do.
to now.
I'm
Doesn't
not
seem to
concerned
now,
about
but-
my wound being activated. What I am concerned about is that I took this from Florian and he had some pain. I'm assuming it was like pain, from like phantom pain from the wound that he used to have.
No, the way he was speaking about it, he was experiencing a similar thing, and I suspect that the reason is that the creator of such brand was present. I don't know if anyone else saw it. I was looking around, kind of panicked, and saw, well, particularly fiery silhouette watching us from a distance. So
Okay.
I have to commend you, Yarick, for taking charge of us all panicking. I think you saved us a lot more than we would have by panicking.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I needed to get so angry. Not normally like that. Just everyone was just saying they were going to go off in different directions, and it was stupid, and I just needed to get him out of it.
No, we were mostly trying to stop Florian from doing something stupid because
Well, and Celeste.
I'm going to talk to those two in a bit. But as long as you're feeling okay, it's the important thing.
Never better. Don't worry about it.
I got him.
Okay.
Okay, so Florian, as this was all happening, you're looking out. What was your perception check?
21.
21. Nice. As you cast your eyes out back into the distance where the fire wastes are, just for a moment, you swear you saw a silhouette of fire then it was gone.
How close?
Oh,
How far?
far, far away. It was very, very far away.
Yeah.
We didn't hear anything, or there was no.
And
just...
and no signs of dragons. It wasn't just the silhouettes or anything, because I didn't know about it. It was no. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna basically
you
sit there.
I only mention it because you're used to those fire gouts, but it seemed to be in a shape of a person, whether it was your imagination or what,
Yeah,
you don't know, but it looked like a silhouette.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Okay.
sit there, people check.
Okay.
I'm going to go over to Florian.
Okay.
You experienced some pain?
Yeah, it's only when we
May
were all
I
together.
have a look?
You can. I've had a quick look myself. It's not bleeding, Celeste, or anything. It was just a pain. It's not opened the scars back up again.
I would still like to just make sure for my own peace of mind, if that's okay.
I don't think in all the hassle, I don't think I'd have done my shirt back up. So
Okay.
I'll just.
So,
I'll go over and inspect.
what are you trying to ascertain?
Has anything come back up on his chest? Or does it still look like it did the last time I saw it? Or is it healing? Or
Make a perception or medicine check. Up to you.
30
And that was a
perception?
perception. No, it looks completely unchanged. It's still scarred, but it's not scabbed over or anything. There's no blood. There's no obvious sign of it opening back up. It looks
Any redness or anything?
not beyond the actual scar itself. No.
Does it look like it's healing up?
Yeah. I mean, it's a scar. There's no blood on it. The healing process looks to be nearly complete.
I just want to sort of touch the area to see if it feels hot under my hand.
It does, but not. It was what would there. Sorry, I can English. It feels like you would expect a healing wound to feel. It's warm because the body is active and healing. It's not hot as in it's infected. It's warm because it's healing.
Okay, good. I was concerned that being that close might have reopened old wounds, so to speak.
Well, potentially, but one thing's for certain, Vale was right. Temple's in the far west, Dakota's there, and obviously she is too.
Yes, I saw her.
I need to speak to Melissa, but I felt a draw towards Trillador back there too. Don't know what it means, but in my head, potentially, if I get too close to him or touch him again, I might receive the curse back. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I have a theory that the scars that you both bear link you, and that links you both to Dakota, but obviously now the link is stronger between Sprocket and Dakota than it is now with you, but there is still echoes of it there. I think now that we're further away from the temple, the draw that you felt will have lessened or gone, but I'm not an expert on these things. It's just my theory.
Yeah, me neither. Magic isn't my strong point, but something what you said could ring true, but it felt like Trillador was potentially being drawn towards Dakota, but to me,
His blood certainly was.
I still think that Fiona needs my blood and not his. So, a chance to transfer that curse back by whatever means. I'm assuming because we were near the fire waste that she might have been a bit stronger. I don't know, but we'll wait for Melissa to come over and have a chat. She's more inclined that way.
If I might suggest that you test now, while there is no danger, whether or not you and Sprocket still feel that draw. Because if it comes to a fight and we go into it unprepared, it could end badly.
Yeah, it could. See what Melissa's got to say and then see if Sprocket's okay with that idea.
I will go and speak to Sprocket.
Okay.
If he'll speak to me.
Okay, so as these conversations are ongoing, we'll take a little break, grab a drink, quick refresh, enjoy. We'll be back here in a few moments. And welcome back to the second half of tonight's Helloran Rising. When we left off, Gus had been off exploring the tunnel cave entrance that the refugees had used to escape, and found some interesting things, which I'm sure he will tell you all about when he gets back. And there were plenty of conversations happening, and I believe Melissa was walking across to Florian and
Yes.
Celeste was going to see Sprocket, as we're calling him. Okay, take it away, whoever wishes to go first.
As I go past Celeste, I'll kind of catch her attention. I don't know if you saw it, but I think
I saw her.
Majesty,
I saw her.
was in attendance, and I'm pretty certain it was her. And I'll just kind of pull my coat back a little bit and just show that all of the scars I have from my Crimson Rite have almost like flared up again a little bit.
Yeah, it looks very similar to Florian's. Some of them are much older, obviously. There's a lot of scars, but you can see that some of the newer ones are like Florian's. They're not healing, if you know what I mean, but they are. Yeah, they look sore like Florian's did.
So
I'm not sure I'll ever understand blood magic.
Honestly, you don't want to. I regret knowing it myself. Sprocket seems to be doing okay. He's seems almost a little rattled, but I don't think I'm going to get anything out of him.
Florian, I think, wants to talk to you about
I wouldn't be surprised.
a lot of things, but
Yeah, well, we're working towards that.
I suggested that we test the draw between him and Sprocket before we get into a situation where knowing about it would cause issues.
If we want, I suspect that draw was a temporary active thing, but
As do I.
it's something we should test when we're further away from the fire wastes.
But preferably before we enter combat and
Yeah, well,
we find out the hard way.
we'll have to wait for Gus to reappear before we can.
Go speak to Florian.
Yeah,
I will check on Sprocket.
do your best.
I always do.
So, Gus, I would like a stealth check. I assume you're being stealthy coming back down the tunnel?
Oh, yeah.
Another stealth check, please.
Oh, only 15 this time.
15.
Probably going a bit faster.
Probably
Okay.
a little bit rattled.
Good to know. Thank you. So, Celeste, you get across to Sprocket.
Is it okay that I'm here?
What a silly question. Can I help you?
I was coming to check on you, but I didn't want to. We haven't always seen eye to eye, and I'm trying to be respectful.
Fine.
May I assist in bandaging you up?
I think I've got it. Thank you for the offer.
If you're sure. If you change your mind, just by all means come and ask.
Well, at this point, I don't really see any point keep bandaging you up. Keeps.
Well, that might be, but there's lots of things to consider, like infection, keeping it clean, getting rid of all the old soiled bandages, and making sure that you don't bleed through and leave a blood trail.
I am the champion of reorgs. Infections don't bother me. I have a god on my side.
Aye, you do.
Did you hear that?
Nope.
I did.
Yep.
I just care about you.
Right?
Are we still to call you Sprocket?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter, does it? I'm not an elf anymore, but I'm not a dwarf, so I'm whatever.
I think that's something you need to decide on. Who you are and what's your name, shall we?
Yeah, this is all quite new for me. Between going into my homeland and rescuing dwarves and dragons following us, I haven't really had a chance to, really sit down and ponder the inner workings of my psyche. But it's on my list of things
Fair enough.
All I know is that I'm not at all.
Do you want to be?
I don't really think that's my decision.
I think it should be.
Whether it should or whether it is are two separate things. I do what my God tells me. Mostly.
No, you fucking do it.
Trying my best, alright.
Aye, true.
I'm here for you if you want to talk.
I don't need anyone. I am quite capable of looking after.
Everyone's capable of looking after themselves, more or less. Doesn't mean that they do a very good job of it sometimes.
Well, I do. Are you just going to stare at me all night? Or...
Of course not.
Thank you for your concern. It's unwarranted.
Of course.
Make sure Florian's okay.
I already have.
Yeah, but he's a bit of a wuss. He needs looking after, so...
He's fine. But at some point we may need to check to see if you two are being drawn together still, in the same way you were in the wastes.
Well, let's not talk about it, let's just do it. And I stand up and walk over to Florian.
Okay, so before we get there, Melissa, you were walking over to Florian.
Yeah. Are you doing all right, darling?
I think so. A little bit of pain when I got close to Chullado, Sprocket, when all that was going on. Keeping an eye at the back here, I might be seeing things, but I swear I saw a silhouette of a figure.
The person looks possibly similar to Vale. A lot of fire about him.
Wasn't that detailed for me, but definitely a figure which is quite comfortable in the heaps and depths of things.
I saw them as well as we were the moose and out of there. Are you feeling all right now?
Yeah, but Dakota is still trying to escape and is potentially being punished right now, but apparently my blood is still somehow connected to this, even though Sprocket is being very courageous and taking that from me several months ago.
I suspect that I have my theories. I can't back them all up, but I suspect the fact that you still carry the mark, even though you don't carry the curse, it can still affect you when the creator is there. I
Yeah.
had a look at Sprocket's wounds, and it's very similar to when I would use the fire on my arrows. And I had a check, and those scars are well.
Well, bless
So
you.
I'm pretty sure it was her trying to make something happen.
I'm a bit concerned. I mean, you know me. Magics isn't my strong point, but I'm thinking now maybe at some point if we're close to her or her realm again, me and Sprocket do come in contact. Felt a draw to him back there as well, and I think he did to me. But if we come in contact, that curse might pass back. Everything he's done would be in vain.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I know Celeste wants to test and see if it's that draw's still there. I don't want to risk that while we're still so close to the fire wastes.
And as you say that, Sprocket comes stamping over.
Sorry to interject, but Celeste has got a theory she wants to test.
Right, we're
What's the feeling at the minute when he's closer?
fluttering the chest.
I mean, there's a sort of general well-being. No.
Is there a rush of blood to his chest, not elsewhere?
Well, I mean, I'm not physically present, so I couldn't tell you if I noticed it. Make a perception roll, both of you.
Is that dagger in your pocket, or?
Yeah. Is that a curse on your chest? Or are you just happy?
Boing.
12.
12 and
Another natural 20 for 23.
you're a bit apprehensive as Sprocket approaches you, but you don't feel anything from the scars. But this is Trenador, Sprocket, your friend, companion, acquaintance, if you must. If we're going to go that far. But no, there's nothing. It's nothing like what was in the fireways.
How are you feeling? Not that I care, but this is for science.
For science, okay. Yeah, no intense pain at the minute.
Okay. To inform you of what we were just speaking about, Sprocket, we suspect that the creator of this curse was trying to undo the sacrifice that you've made.
I'll have to try a little harder.
Certainly. You're a noble man, Sprocket.
Yeah. Do continue.
Okay, so as this conversation is happening, Gus reappears.
As I just before coming round the corner, I shout, "Only me!" and then come round the corner.
So,
Right, everyone, gather up. I've got some information.
Are we all here?
So, I'll sort of get everyone together, if that's possible, with all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
emotional people. Right, so I followed the passage up as far as I could, and I found a bit where the dwarves were doing a rear guard against the dragons. And I'll look at your. He didn't make it. Some of our old friends are up there, but no family. But so looks like, firstly, they were being chased by an emerald, which is a nasty piece of work. But they dropped the roof on it, and it's sort of squished. So that's taken care of. But I think that sapphire that we fought, this is its lair. And I think it might, I don't know if it's in here or not, but we've got to be careful and quiet when we go back up there. Now, I think we could probably work our way through the fall and make a small tunnel to take us through to the big tunnel that goes back up to Daggold.
Right, okay. Good.
Okay.
But we got to be as quiet as possible, I think, in case that sapphire's back in here. And keep an eye out if it's not, in case it comes back.
I do have a question.
Yeah?
Are sapphire dragons sensitive to light? Because I can't speak for Rens, but I know that y'all and Celeste can see in the dark, but myself, Florian, and I don't think Miette can, which seems...
I very much can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Me and
This,
Florian.
this is a human problem.
Me and Florian can't see in the darkness of the cave. We would need light.
Jazz, are sapphires sensitive to light?
Not really.
Okay.
I find that a little bit insensitive, Miss Miette. I can't see in the dark. That's why I've got so much light.
My apologies. I have not encountered your kind before.
It's all fine. It was a shame that we can't camp here for tonight, because if we could, I could probably. I think I've got a spell somewhere that I can shape stone with it, and I could probably get us through that tunnel quite easily.
That would be handy.
But I'd
Sounds
need to
quite
sleep.
impressive.
I'd need to sleep on it though, so I mean I can't do it today.
All right, don't worry. Us dwarves can shape stone with our hands.
Exactly. It's fine. You with 2 and 3 dwarves.
Well, I can lend you my strength though if you need me to shift some stuff.
Well, that would be good.
That'll be useful. Thank you.
I am. You know,
I can supervise.
I'm good at
I
that as
can
well.
supervise.
So if everybody's nice and rested, let's go and make a start. The sooner we're airing through that place, the better, because hopefully the sapphire won't be able to follow us.
So do you think it'd be alright to risk a bit of light?
Just a little bit, nothing too bright. There's enough for you to see around you, so you don't trip over your own toes.
Right, bear with me a second. Brian's will put his shield off his back, and he'll there's a stone in the mouth of the dragon, in the crystal dragon on his shield, and he'll touch the stone and cast light. So it'll cast sort of like just a small beacon of light, but the way that the mouth is shaped is it sort of pushes it, the light, sort of, it's a bit like a lantern basically.
Okay. Fair enough. Right. Okay. So we're making our way up the tunnel, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like a group stealth check, please.
No, we're good at those.
I will
Indeed you
cast.
are.
I will cast Old Faithful, Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Druid strikes
So-
again.
Plus 10 onto whatever your stealth rolls are.
Doesn't help.
So let's go around the room, please.
Ooh.
Celeste, what did you get?
23.
23. Ferenz?
20 with disadvantage.
20.
Oh no, sorry, 22 with disadvantage.
22. Lovely. Florian?
31.
31. Nice. Gus?
32.
32. Melissa?
I'm going to crash and burn off of this luck. Natural 20 for 34.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Because
Yet.
of the pass without a trace.
Pay for that.
Yeah.
Just as a favour, just indulge me this time. Go on to the next 2 and then come back to me.
Oh, very well. Okay. We're setting ourselves up for some drama. I like that. So we'll go with Sprocket.
15.
15. That's with your plus 10, yeah?
Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh.
3 plus 2 plus 10.
And Yorick.
18.
18. Nice. And finally, drum roll, please.
Okay, that
Sounds
isn't
a
so
very
bad.
agile cat.
The agile cat, who is deservedly in the bottom row where everyone else is on a 15.
A 15. Okay.
All right.
Blimey.
That's- I mean,
With
With a
pass without
noisy
a trace?
road.
Bad for me.
you
The noisy road down here.
yeah.
Sorry, was that with pass without a trace?
That was with
That's
your
what, plus 5?
Plus 10.
Plus 10.
Plus 10.
Oh, it was plus 10. Okay, then I'm on a 20, which is slightly more respectable.
Okay.
Just say I was scared for a
Right.
moment there.
Okay, so pretty high rolls all round. Even despite the light beaming out of Feren's shield, you make your way quietly, efficiently up this tunnel, and it, as I say, it goes up and then drops down again at an incline, and then sort of levels out, and you come to this wall of rubble with dwarves, dead dwarves, a sight unfortunately you're becoming used to in these times. The tunnel itself goes up almost into the ceiling and carries on as far as you can see into the darkness.
And I'll say, I think that's where the sapphire has got its lair. So we want to keep quiet around here.
And there's a large green dragon's claw sticking out of the rubble.
I feel like before we go in, we just need to clarify. If we see a dragon, are we fighting it or are we running away? There was some confusion last time.
We're meant to be making friends with dragons. Dragons are friends.
Some of the dragons are friends, some of them are nasty.
So
It depends what type. I suppose we'll have to try and just tell you what we think if we see one.
are you friends with all dragons, Ren?
Friends isn't really paying attention at this point. So we'll turn, and Mr. Florian, if you could take this, and he'll give Florian his shield. He sort of puts his staff down across him, and he pulls out this sort of set of crystal, almost like crystal dust, and he'll sprinkle it across. And he just holds his hands out and speaks a short sort of prayer to the crystal dragon over
Okay.
the emerald, because even though they are bad-tempered, devious bastards, they are still
Make
dragons. They are still part of the earth.
make either an intelligence or perception check.
Perception's preferred.
Just
Oh,
for point of order,
Jesus.
Florian takes the shield quite well. I did roll for it for a strength check, by the way.
Okay.
Natural 20 for 29.
29.
Blimey.
As you start to do this, you look. This isn't a. This is just a claw.
Yeah.
It's not attached to the rest of the dragon. And as you sort of go to touch it, it sort of goes down, and the sort of foot of this dragon sort of rolls onto the floor.
I think the best idea might be to run if we can, and if we can't, then just defend ourselves as best we can and try and drive the dragon away without killing it if possible.
Well, if it's a smart one, we might want to try and talk to it.
I don't want to. I don't want to worry anyone, but that wasn't actually a whole dragon. That was just its foot.
Where's
Did
the
they
rest?
do that often? Shed their parts?
No, that was the dragon's entire foot. That means that I would hazard a guess that the dragon this came from is quite large.
And possibly still alive with 3 feet and a bad attitude.
I would say yes.
Good to know.
Marvellous.
Is it possible the dragon is on the other side of that rockfall then and is pissed about its foot being on this side?
Well, I would estimate that maybe the dragon, the emerald, probably tried to bring the tunnel down on purpose rather than the dwarves trying to bring the tunnel down on it. Maybe,
Can I
possibly.
tell whether it was done? It was dwarven handiwork.
You know for a fact you've seen this before when in Sapphire territory. That this is dwarven. The dwarves brought this tunnel down.
No, I say the dwarves brought it down, definitely. Look over there, you can see the marks where they did the demolition.
Right.
If we are going to talk, who's going to talk to it? Are you going to be the emissary Gus, or Ren's going to talk to it? I don't think we should all just scare it.
Well,
I think friends should.
I'm not sure we would intimidate a dragon much.
if you just quiet a minute, I'll tell you if there's any nearby, and I'll just close my eyes and do my
Should we literally be
dragon
talking?
bending feature.
Should
I
we be
didn't say
talking
anything
this
funny.
loud? We're talking very loud here, people, and we're only a foot away from a dragon.
Oh, that was good. A foot away. Yes, very good.
So, you think the dragon's going to be afraid of us?
You might be afraid of
Okay.
me.
I very much doubt it, my friend. You're one bite at most.
So, Gus,
Scared of
explain to me
scared
your
of us.
primeval awareness to
Okay.
detect dragons
Ooh.
in a mile.
Okay. Do you have to roll for that, or do you just
No,
know?
it's just a skill. It takes a spell slot.
Okay.
It's a skill.
So within a mile, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
what
know
is-
which direction, or do you just know?
That's what I was going to say. To sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you, or within 6 miles if you're in your favourite terrain, which we are, the mountains.
Okay.
The feature doesn't reveal the character's location or number.
Okay.
I would just presume if it was closer, it would be stronger because you just try to sense them, aren't you?
Yeah.
But that-
Okay. What we'll do then is there are definitely dragons within 6 miles of you. Definitely. Absolutely. Give me either nature or survival check with advantage.
I'll go for survival. Oh, that's not bad. 21.
21. There are lots within 6 miles. There are some within a mile, for sure.
Mhm.
There may, you think, be 2, 3 that are closer than that. But then it starts to get fuzzy because you're not sure whether you're picking up on the Sapphire's lair, which you're pretty convinced this is,
Mm.
or the claw, the foot of the green, the emerald, which is interfering with your detection. But it's pretty strong.
Right, well, there's lots of dragons all around us. And I think there's a couple quite close by, so we just have to be very, very careful and very, very quiet. So,
I'm sorry.
what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was being quite loud.
Oh, right. So, Yorick, I was thinking over here. See this bit down the side here? I think we could use the side of the wall for one bit and then excavate a bit quietly and sort of work away along the edge of the wall and make a small tunnel we could all go through.
Yeah, looks good.
So we'll set to doing that.
Tell you what, as you have done this kind of thing before, the pair of you, and had to go back through them, you know that if they were given enough time, they would have structured it in such a way that an escape route was possible.
Okay.
So I'd like you both to make a perception check with investigation check with advantage
Ooh.
to find and the reason it's an investigation is because you would have to go up and touch it and move things and investigate.
14.
14.
But between my investigation and perception, there is a 10-point difference.
Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what, if you wanted to sort of stand back and just look and let Gus do and advise him on where to go,
Okay.
make a perception check.
Just flat or
Just a
advantage
flat
again?
one because you're not using your innate up close
Fine,
knowledge.
didn't need it.
Wow.
26.
Okay. Yeah, Gus, you're struggling to find the exact. You see a couple that you think, oh no, but then they don't move right. And Yorick just says, well, just over there a bit, and sort of starts to direct you. And then you see it. You see the stone that you know, this sort of chiseled stone. It's a worked piece that the engineers carry. And you know, if you remove this, an escape route will appear. It will fall in such a way there is a tunnel through the rockfall.
Okay. I will then do it.
Make a strength check.
Oh, okay.
10.
10.
10. It's not budging. They hammered this in proper.
Do you need my help, mate?
Yeah, I think you better get hold of that one then.
Okay, Yorick, make a strength check. 19. Yeah. You sort of shoulder Gus out of the way. Cousinly rival. With one hand, just go twist and pull.
Yeah.
Gus, you forgot to twist, mate.
I forgot to twist it.
It's all in the technique.
And as you do so, you step back, the pair of you. The rock starts to and fall across the floor. But it's very
Right.
noisy. It's a rock fall, after all.
Right, everyone, into the tunnel quickly before anything comes.
Okay.
I'll lead the way.
Some of the larger people, for ends, looking at you, will need to sort of squish through. It's a bit of a struggle for you, for ends.
What about Bridrits?
Bridris is not going to fit through that hole. She's too big.
Bridrits, you're too close to the hole. Listen, you go back home and I'll call you back on the other side, all right?
Oh, all right, man. No problem. I'll just go and have a quick snack, and I'll be no, not snack. I'm not having a snack. I'm just gonna go home, right?
All right.
She's still going to Dornham.
Well,
She said she wasn't, so she's not doing that.
if she comes back with a set
Right.
of forms, it might confirm.
Okay. So
I'll
you all
go-
managed to make your way through this. Frankly, I mean, the dwarves, not a problem, straight through. The rest of you, it's quite oppressive because there's tons and tons of rock above you and to the sides of you, and it's a very small space. Especially you, Ferenz. You're not used to being in tiny spaces like this. Used to having the open beach and the.
To be
the-
fair,
the
I've got
wild-
visions of him basically being flat on his front and literally just.
Yeah, literally. So you all make your way to the other side of this rockfall, and
Before I come out the other side, I'd want to stop at the end and have a
okay,
good look around to see if I can see anything. And three-legged dragons hanging around.
make a perception check.
James and/or Gus, who is in military mode.
Yep,
8.
8. Looks good. Looks safe. Not a problem.
Mm.
So you crawl out the other side. As the rest of you get out here, you see this cave. It's well, clearing really in the rock cave. The ceiling goes up very high. And there's almost worked pillars, but they look ancient. And there are more dwarves here. About another 4 or 5 dwarves. Celeste, as you come through, you see one of these dwarves move.
I will rush straight over.
Okay, you get across to this dwarf, and she is lying battered, absolutely battered, cuts all over her.
Immediately throw her cure wounds level 1
Okay.
to stabilise more than anything else.
Okay, roll a healing on that.
$11.
11. Thank you very much. Okay.
As I see Celeste doing that, I'll run over as well.
Yeah. Okay.
See who it is, and I'll do a cure wounds as well.
Okay. Roll some healing then.
And is Yorick going to do one 3 for 3?
I was going to offer spare the dying, but
Yorick,
Yeah.
that's Yorick for. I don't have it prepared.
1. Word cuts.
What did you roll?
2 minus 1.
Ah, there you go.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so
I'm helping.
I know you are, and it's much appreciated. It really is. As the healing goes into this dwarf, she sort of coughs and there's blood comes up. And she looks up and sees you, Celeste. She's like, oh. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks.
Try not
That
to
was-
move.
That was too intense. There was and she looks around and spots Gus. There was yeah.
Do I
Wow.
recognise who it is?
Make a perception check.
As they've rushed over to her, is this is no, don't worry.
22.
22. You do not.
Oh, okay.
You don't recognise this dwarf, and she's not wearing armour. Well, not dwarven armour. And was it 22 you got?
Yeah.
And you see that she only has one hand. She pushes herself up to a seated position. She looks at you, Gus, and she has bright green eyes.
You all right, dear?
Yeah, I think I am. I think. And she looks at where her hand should be. Oh.
You look like you got hurt.
That's unfortunate. There was a dragon, I think, and it was and she props herself up against the wall.
Just take it easy.
There was the rocks fell, and then we were trapped, and then I just can't remember what happened next. It was all a bit strange.
We're going back to Daggold to rescue the baby dragons. Do you want to come and help us, or do you want to go out? There's a way through there if you want to escape.
Rescue? What do you mean rescue? What? What are you talking about? Rescue baby dragon?
Oh.
What?
I think there might be a place underneath Daggold where there's baby dragons being kept against their wills, and we don't like that, so we're going to go and help rescue them, and then we're going to stop this horrible war, because the dragons and the dwarf shouldn't be in... Oh, I'm talking too much now.
We want to try and put a stop to the war.
She's staring intently at you, Gus.
I'll chip in with like, oh, it's orders from Reorcs. Don't worry, it's fine. From the boss.
Yeah, for reorcs.
For Reorcs.
Do I get an inkling that there's something not quite right here?
I certainly wouldn't.
Do we all hear this? Yeah, do we all hear this?
They're not having a secret conversation, and it's a fairly echoey place.
Friends would sort of walk over, and he's watching intently.
Okay.
And then begins to hum one of those draconic tunes again.
Okay.
Is there any reaction?
Insight check. Insight check.
Does Freddy get one because that's his thing?
Nope. 'Cause you didn't ask for it.
16.
16?
19.
19. I mean, she's certainly acting a little odd, Celeste. And she seems to be in a bit of shock at what Gus has said.
Look, I think you banged your head a bit. I think you better come with us. You'll be safer with a group like us, because, you know, if you go out there by yourself, you might get killed.
Yeah, that seems like a really good plan. Ferenz, on your 19, there's definitely something odd about this dwarf. Her aura is a lot bigger than you would expect. It's more... It's definitely not giving you the same vibes as Gus or Yorick, or even Sprocket. It's giving off some strange vibes.
Was there any reaction to the tune I'm humming? Or sort of just begin to lightly sing the words.
Nope.
Okay.
I'll say to her, say, listen, don't be scared, but
Oh,
I'm going to call my friend over now, and she's a bit special, but she's not going to hurt you, all right? Okay?
Okay.
Just
And she sort of looks around at the rest of you.
And I'll call Bridris back, as I promised I would.
Okay.
I'm going to start bandaging where her hand was.
Okay.
Make sure that,
Make
she
a
doesn't
quick
start bleeding out or anything.
Do a medicine check for me. It's fairly straightforward.
With the stump,
Yeah.
obviously, while before Celeste does that, what I'm going to do is go over and sort of ignite one of my hands with white flame. Now, miss, this might hurt a little bit, but I've got to do this so you don't bleed to death, okay?
Yeah. She looks up at
And he's-
Gus for confirmation.
It's all right. He's a good bloke.
Yeah. And he's just going to whisper in Draconic just to keep the flame going, and he's going to press his hand to the stump to sort of
Okay.
cauterize it.
That was. Ow!
Here, I've got some nice mead here. Have a swig of this. That'll help.
I'll do another level 1 cure wounds.
And she takes a swig of the mead. She's like, "Oh yeah, could have said that before."
I'm sorry, I forgot. It's all this excitement. My brain sort of goes a bit.
Okay, what sort of healing are you giving her?
So another 11 hit points healed and a medicine check of 19.
Okay, yep, fairly easy to do. As Ferenz cauterized the wound, as soon as he stops, you can bandage that with no problem.
Now, miss, I know you're not really in any sort of fit shape to move, so with your consent, I will make my shield into a seat, and then you can sit on it, and we can carry you along.
It's fine. And she pushes herself up off the ground. Your friends here have been very kind, and I am feeling a lot more steady on my feet.
That's good. I really like that.
I've got to ask, Miss.
Yeah,
What
sorry.
clan are you? What clan are you from? Because I don't think that Gus or Yarick here recognize you, and you don't have quite the same accent.
I am.
Brian, don't be rude.
A rude thing to ask. You don't know much about dwarf etiquette, do you?
He doesn't, does he? He's a bit.
Don't mind him. We're the first dwarves he's ever met, so.
That would explain it. He's too tall.
Your accent's changed now a couple of times, Miss. Is that because of the knock on the head, or?
What'd you expect? She's been under a bloody rubble and she's had her hand chopped off.
Yeah,
Give her a break. God, man.
And just as you're saying that, Bridris, you've called in your head, appears into the group.
I said, don't be scared. This is Bridris.
Hello, Mum. What? I didn't do nothing.
That's all right then. As long as you didn't do anything, that's fine. This is Bridris.
As Bridris appears, she sort of scrambles back against the wall.
It's all right. It's all right.
Bloody
Don't
hell.
be scared. This is Bridris. She's my baby.
I need to insight that, Chaz. So
Okay, insight it.
I've been pushing for something like that. Just
Insight.
So,
I'm
so
joining in this one.
I've got a feeling that being closer to her and observing her more closely, could I roll another one?
Sure.
I got 26.
I got 12.
I got
26,
25 this time.
25, 12. Anybody else want to join in?
Yeah, why not?
Not at all.
I got rude companions.
So you certainly do.
You've only just noticed.
No, 12 again.
12.
But I'm still wrapping the bandage,
Yeah,
so I'm
that's fine.
focused more on that.
I'm
She
keeping my
sort
gulp
of
shut.
pulls away from you as as she sort of scrambles away from Bridris.
Whoa. You have to keep still. I
Yeah, but
need to.
there's a.
It's all right. I told you we're friends with the dragon. Well, some of them, and like we've been ordered by Reorcs to stop the war.
Yeah.
This is Bridris. This
you
is my
said
baby.
that.
See, look, and I'll go up and give Bridris a big kiss.
Bridris, I know, Mum. Don't
See?
stop it. You're
Stop.
embarrassing me. So for those one sec, James. Those insight checks are 25 and 26. I mean, she looks genuinely afraid. Absolutely, genuinely afraid of Bridris.
Mine wasn't whether she was afraid of Bridges. It was now I'm closer to her.
Yeah.
That odd feeling about her silhouette being bigger than it should be.
No, her aura, not her silhouette.
Oh, so her aura being larger than what I thought it should be for her size.
You get the feeling that it's now more appropriate.
Like
Still a little larger than you would expect, but not as large as it was.
Okay.
Like an elf and a dwarven body.
Yeah, very similar to the whole Trellador sprocket thing.
Okay.
Now, see, this has got to show you that dragons and dwarves can be best mates.
Yeah, well, it's a bit close.
She's beautiful, though, isn't she?
Guess maybe Bridges should just back away a little.
Stay with me. It's fine. Don't worry. She's not going to hurt you, unless, of course, you try to hurt us. Then she might do. But she's very protective. But she's not you otherwise.
We've been ever so rude. My name's Yorick. What's your name?
I'm Gus.
Oh, Yorick, Gus. I'm Delimer.
Delimer. Nice to meet you, Delimer.
Call me Del for short.
Right.
Oh, that's she sort of holds her stump up. So, that's a good bandage there, miss. Thank you.
I'm Celeste. It's a pleasure to meet you, Del. I'm glad I could.
Cell and Del. That's funny.
I'm glad I could get to you in time.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you. Still not sure about that big old dragon and that tall, furry fellow's a bit.
Yeah. My name's Ferenz, and I won't.
He's very friendly.
I'm sure. He's very, very tall. It's a good job we're in a big cavern. Otherwise he'd bang his head a lot, I reckon.
No one's done it just yet, DM, but can I just go around some of the other bodies just to see if there's any breathing around there and
of course,
see if any of the others are still alive?
Yep. Make medicine check.
Cool.
So, as he's going around doing that, anybody else want to do anything?
I was just going to carry on talking to her.
Okay.
I just sort of do a general check over, see if there's any other wounds that need tending to, that kind of thing.
Okay. No. She seems she's got a lot of superficial cuts and bruising, but that would be to
bring
be
out
expected,
some food and water
which
for her to have.
She gratefully accepts and drinks more of the mead if there's more available.
I know we're not properly in like dwarven territory yet, but like this is the furthest a wandering Gus has ever been into dwarven land. So I'm gonna be looking around, memorizing everything for the stories I'm gonna be telling later.
Okay, no, that's fair. Make a performance check. I know it's not quite performance, but it's you're trying to recall this for making stories and.
17.
Okay, yeah, it's going well. There's not a huge amount of detail to be had, but there's lots of dead dwarves. There was a dragon's foot. There's a cave in and a secret tunnel, and which Yorick somehow activated. It was really quite
tragic drama.
It is. It's absolutely going to be a brilliant tale. This one.
I want to find a sort of quiet corner of the cavern away from everybody else, and sort of Friends will sort of place the base of his shield up towards him, and sort of rest the staff on top of it.
Okay.
And then just start making a prayer to the crystal dragon.
Okay.
Thanking him for leading him this far and showing him path to help others see the value in friendship with dragons,
Okay.
and asking for him to keep a watch and offer guidance if on how we can stop this war before it gets any worse.
Okay, cool. So as you meditate on that in your prayer, just deal with the medicine check. Florian, you go round. The other dwarves are all unfortunately dead.
Yeah, I rolled a 23 on that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there like a time line for that?
You suspect it would line up with just after you found the refugees. So you suspect this was the rear guard that they told you about that were fighting in the tunnels to allow the rest of them to escape.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna head over towards Melissa. And quite quietly be like, Melissa,
Yeah.
there's no other survivors here,
No.
and they all died roughly when we met up with the survivors a day or so ago.
And our survivor here is missing a hand. She seems rather shocked. But I know what you're thinking. And I'm thinking it as well. But
I can't get a read on it yet, but I know.
I'm not entirely sure of everything that's going on there. Because she seems... She's... Something about her act, if it is an act, seems far too genuine, far too confused to me. I'm not sure why.
Could be a good thing that if we do save some babies, that she's along with us.
Celeste,
I think that would have...
as you finished bandaging and you hear a sort of rumbling, low rumbling, scraping noise. And as you sort of turn, it's from the other side of the rockfall. And I'd like everybody to make a stealth check, please.
I'll get everyone's attention and be like,
Have we still got traits on? Or is that
Yeah,
finished?
you should.
it's an hour, so
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm not gonna make one, and it would because I'm focused on.
You
the
are,
prayer.
indeed. So while they're doing that, as you reach out to the Great Crystal Dragon, and you thanking them for helping you and the rest of it, you get the feeling that the Great Crystal Dragon is pleased and happy that you're on the right path. There's no actual words that come.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a... I mean, you're used to this from them. They give you feelings and nudges towards things. It's no real kind of directive. It's not like Reorcs when there's like, you get exactly what you ask for.
It's almost like a different pitch on wind chimes.
Yeah, literally.
Like
you just sort of
crystal chimes.
Yeah, and it's just a if you're doing things that he thinks that maybe are not the best, it will get a little bit discordant. But now it's breezy and upbeat and happy, and they are... You get the sense that you're on the right path again. You're where you need to be, and yeah, generally the Great One seems to be pleased with what you're doing. He's very happy. So, the stealth roll, please, Celeste.
31.
31. Florian.
23.
23. Gus.
26.
And Bridris.
Oh, I didn't do one for Bridris. Let me just do that. Let me see what he gets. She gets +1. 17.
17.
Oh no, 27.
27. Pass without trace. Yep. Melissa.
20.
20. Yorick.
24.
24. Sprocket.
24.
24. Dwarf boys doing
Come
it.
on, come on, kitty cat.
Coming in. Kitty cat, what you got?
Now, 20 again.
20 again.
My dice are not like me tonight.
All right.
So the least stealthy is the rogue. Is that what we're hearing?
Yep, that's what we're
Yes.
saying.
Okay.
So,
Too distracted by the architecture.
yes. You all start to feel this as you stop, crouch down, and you can feel it first before you really hear it. A sort of low rumbling, and then a scraping noise. And then this almighty noise that happens on the other side of this rockfall. And it goes down the way you came from. Gus, Yorick, you would suggest this is the sapphire
yeah.
moving back out of her lair, or his lair. Not sure in a minute, but their lair.
So
And that's
The
where
noise-
we're going to end for tonight. So,
Uh-oh.
that was fun, huh?
Oh yeah.
And a new companion to play with. There you go.
Yeah, new
Who's
emerald.
totally
companion.
not a dragon. Totally not.
Totally not a disguised emerald dragon at all.
Totally not.
You guys are so
I think-
rude. It's just a dwarf in need.
The
Yeah.
suspicious bit is not the relation to the Emerald Dragon, but more so, are they disguised or is this something else? Because
Yeah, did a spell go wrong?
there's something off about this,
Dragon visit.
and my insight check wasn't really high enough to really get any further into it.
I was looking for ways after that original insight check to ask for one, because otherwise the first one I was going to ask for would have just been complete meta, so I had to stop myself. That's why I stopped myself from doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
And-
cool. No, I know.
I then
Thank
had
you
to-
for not metagaming. It's much appreciated.
I have to say, it was hard watching you sit there vibrating for 10 minutes while you're awake.
Yeah, I just had to wait for other things to happen to be able to ask something relevant to what Florian would have seen, not what I would have seen. So,
Yeah.
In fairness, Brens knows a little bit, but the fact that the foot was back in there and we've suddenly found somebody without a hand is very, very suspicious.
Yeah, and that's the main suspicion.
Right.
But
And
Conspiracy beard is on.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Yorick cast blind faith.
The dragons have been disguising themselves as dwarves for years, and in
Yeah.
fact, the ones in control of the juvenile dragon murder.
Maybe Reorx is a
Conspiracy
dragon.
beard.
Reorx is a dragon who is also Yorick.
I love Conspiracy Beard. We need to do an offshoot show on a different day with
So-
Conspiracy Beard.
Can I borrow the conspiracy bit for a moment?
Sorry, Miss D, I missed what you said there.
Sort of saying that the dragons have been controlling their own numbers. Is that the theory?
Conspiracy Beard does not have to make sense.
Or the dragons have been pruning certain draconic bloodlines.
Ah,
My conspiracy beard. It's the other way around. So, I suspect with
Dwarves are
conspiracy
actually
beards-
disguised as dragons?
No, the
Oh.
dragons are developed from dwarves, a la the old myth of Fafnir, and that the crystal dragons in particular have developed from dwarves, and like this is some kind of remnant of that, and that the emerald has been turned back into a dwarf, and she is very fucking confused about this situation. Conspiracy beard off.
Wow, that was
Conspiracy Beard says aliens.
Sorry, kudos to Dan for the comment there in general.
Florian's my conspiracy beard.
awesome.
Yeah, I gotta say, fair play to the entire party for coming through the tunnel, and in character going, "Oh no, we're in the dwarf," and in the back of our heads, every single one of us going, "That's a
Oh,
fucking
I could
dragon."
see all of you go. But yeah, fair play. Well done, everybody, for not going, "It's a dragon," and immediately trying to nuke it.
I mean, Gus almost did with that heel, to be fair.
Yeah, it nearly took points away from her. Yeah.
I helped. I called her out the stump.
You did. Yeah, everybody helped. This is cool. Yeah.
I checked all the other doors in there before anybody else as well to make sure nobody else was alive.
Me and Miette supervised.
You did.
Yes.
Good supervisory skills.
Yes,
So-
we helped.
That's the end of this episode for tonight. We will just be back next week. We'll go a quick round room to extra conspiracy beard theories. Where do you want to start? Anybody want to just jump right in? Ferenz wants to jump right in. Go for it.
Yeah. Friends is happy that the boss is happy, and he's on the right path. So let's free some fucking dragons. Let's make some peace.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Great Crystal Dragon appears to be very happy with you, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else want to go next, or shall I just do a quick tour?
Pick randomly. Give us more paranoia.
Okay, Florian.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where we potentially get the dragons on our side in either the near or distant future, where it leads to potentially stopping the end of the world. With this now going on between me and Trellador, if we're close to either the temple or Her Highness arsehole wipe, does it mean that, like, literally Trellador's incapacitated because I was with that scar anyway, or does it mean he's more incapacitated because I'm near him?
No.
And if there's, like, I mean, in a fight, I'm not being funny, but if one of us rolls a natural one in a fight and we're near each other and we touch, do I get the curse back? Who fucking knows? It is literally like my brain's going, what's going to go? I don't know.
I have a theory on that,
So
which
essentially,
is my conspiracy beard theory.
Okay, come on in. Conspiracy
Sorry,
beard with cats.
She gets conspiracy ears.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she wears them all the time, so...
She weaves a tale of conspiracy.
Oh, hello.
We got double ears.
Double
for
ears.
conspiracy
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the transfer of the curse didn't transfer the curse; it shared it. So now she just needs some combination of two of you, or maybe even all three of you, just to have a hat trick to make it work.
Yeah, so my
Because
my
fuck
heart
me,
is
you made
set.
the problem worse.
I'm
My
not
heart-
having a threesome with Florian and his sister. I'm just
My
saying.
my heart is my heart is set on that
Rude.
the curse needs to be back on me for it to work because it is twin magic. So the transfer is helped us temporarily
Okay.
in the meantime, but
You don't know. You don't know if I've got a twin or not.
well,
We
no, I
asked
do
you,
because I
you
did
said
ask,
no.
and you said no.
One
But
of
you
the
said
few
no.
questions you actually answered correctly.
yeah, but there you go. That I'm on that belief. Me personally, I'm on that belief that is may what happen. Saying that out loud now means that Chaz may change it. Who knows? But
Saying that out loud means that Chaz now knows that's what you think.
yeah.
So,
But who
you know,
knows?
it's all good. Melissa, give us your thoughts.
Well, I do agree that Fiona's trying to make something click with the curse. I think she's trying to get it back onto Florian. I think she's quite miffed that the mark has been moved onto Sprocket, because I think it's important that it's on both the twins, because that seems to be kind of her calling card, especially for stuff we learnt from Vale. She seems to be able to
Oh dear.
blood and flesh.
We
and
lost
stuff
loads
like
of that.
Oh, did I cut out?
She seems to be able to.
I think manipulate.
She
Basically,
seems to be able to manipulate stuff through twins,
Right.
and like it seems important that that mark must be on Florian. So, yeah, and I think we did see an appearance of her purely because the Temple of Amash seems near there, and I think the Temple of Amash is directly connected to the Hells. So it's going to be fun going in there.
Sure. Yeah.
Second thing, competition. Who's a better liar? Random Emerald Dragon that we find disguised as a dwarf, or Sprocket? Sprocket he's such a fantastic liar. It's just amazing to watch.
I don't think it's. Well, I don't think it's the quality of the lie. It's the intimidation behind the lie.
Yeah, to an extent.
You will find it.
I just find it funny when he's acting all tough, and then I just compliment him, and he tries to own it. It's fantastic. There's certainly a character arc going on there. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. Who have we not done yet? Celeste, did we come to you yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I think that the closer that Florian and Frockitus get to the temple, the worse it's going to get for the both of them. I don't think it's going to be so easy as just transferring from one to the other. I think that they're both going to end up with the mark, and yeah, it's going to hurt them both quite a bit. So when she made her offer to go after Dakota alone, she was serious about it. But then seeing Fiona made her second guess that thought, because it seemed more and more like it could be a trap, and she doesn't want to go for that. But I also think with Dell that she has her suspicions, but because she's quite a smart person, but I think even if she is suspicious, she's just doing what she would do naturally, and she thinks that if her suspicions are correct, that being nice and being kind and telling this person what our plans are cannot be anything but beneficial.
Indeed. And Gus has already told her most of what's going on. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I was
Well,
just so
one
happy
after
to
Gus.
find a dwarf alive after all the slaughter.
exactly. Yeah, I get it. Speaking of Gus, what have you got?
Yeah, that basically. But I think when we go to do the Fiona thing, I think we just need to leave both the lover boys in the forest so they can have a bit of alone time, and we'll go and do it without them. Then there'll be no danger, will there?
It's a plan.
Especially as we'll have an army of dragons at our back.
So, I mean, it's a fair enough reason, but the lover boys can't go back to the forest.
We'll go somewhere else for the honeymoon.
Fuck it, let's use the well of many wells for the honeymoon.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find another plane of existence.
The honeymoon plane. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yorick, what have you got for us?
Ooh, I don't
Apart from
know.
the beard of
Yeah, I think the conspiracy beard.
conspiracy beard is a thing now. We're doing
It's
that.
second, yeah.
I don't know why that just came out. I just had this random
It's
conspiracy and just
absolutely
thought,
canon. And if you think I'm not using it on Sunday,
no, please do. It's our thing now.
it is our thing. The conspiracy beard.
We all need to get beards so that we can don them for
Yes. Oh,
such
absolutely.
time.
All of us?
Conspiracy beard.
That stream's unique selling point. Conspiracy beard segment.
Our USP is the conspiracy beard.
I can see one from here.
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything more to add. Yeah, Yorick got very angry because people were again trying to suggest ridiculous plans where people separate from the group. When in Yorick's head, the orders from Reorx say, "Go to the mountains, sort shit out with the dragons. They'll be on your back, or you'll be on their back. They'll be on your side, so you can take down Fiona." That's the plan.
Yeah.
Any deviation from that is suicide, and stop it.
May I point out a caveat to that?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, of course, Pete.
Yeah, just your orders from Reorx are to do that.
Yeah, no, of course, absolutely. But that's why Yorick was the one getting angry, because those are his orders.
Oh yeah, fair.
Beautiful. Did everybody get a go yet? Did you?
Oh yeah, no, I did. I had
You had conspiracy ears,
party
didn't you?
conspiracy ears.
Okay. Anybody? No, I think we've done everybody.
I didn't, but all I can say is I'm not going to give my mark back. It's mine. So.
You're not going to give it back. Okay. Have you any other thoughts on this evening?
No, it's my curse.
It's your curse.
And I handle it much better than Florian did.
Right. Okay. Noted.
My curse to bear.
I will make a note.
I will bear it because it makes me look cooler.
You just need to write a very nicely worded letter to Kill Switch Engage and just say this is my curse now.
So
you just know that if we ever get round to removing the curse and he starts to heal, he's going to get that tattooed on his chest, so it's always there.
Of course. I would expect nothing less. In
I
fact, I expect Dan to go and get a tattoo of this.
Cool.
I have been having sideways thoughts about protecting Sprocket,
Really?
which won't end well.
Okay.
I don't like the sound of that.
I
I end up
do.
with
Well,
Balo.
it's like we know some of the Wandering Ghost magic protects them. So, like, what have you got a tattoo of that Mark II?
I thought you were going to send me to go and live with Balo for a bit.
No, I was going to sit in you
I
and
can
carry
see
your back up.
claw marks coming.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now that would be amazing.
You'll have one mark on your front
Yeah,
and
we'll get our claws on him.
back.
Cool. Okay, so any other statements, questions? No, we're good. But what we do have to know is, Terry, do you have any questions for us? Do you wish to wear the conspiracy beard? It's a thumbs down. No questions, no beard this week. God, no, apparently.
Are you going to ask it, Fiddy?
No, I know there's no need to.
No.
There's
Absolutely.
But you're
apparently
supposed to.
69 is going to be the good and brilliant session. So
Yeah, session 69 is where we level up.
Okay, so
Ah,
Melissa, you are doing our recap
Yeah.
next week.
with both of my notebooks for this
Excellent.
week.
Good.
Gonna
As
be
long as you're
interesting.
set for that. That's amazing. That's where we'll end tonight, folks. Thank you very much for playing. You were all brilliant this evening, especially as there was a huge opportunity to metagame and none of you did. I'm very proud of you all. Well done. You know, I know it can be really tricky sometimes. That was just a big button that you avoided. Well done. Very happy with that. Thank you all very much for playing. You're all amazing. Thank you for watching. If you watched and you enjoyed it, brilliant. Give us a follow. If you didn't, fuck off. We do this for fun. We're not really interested in followers, but if you want to follow, great. We love you. But if you don't, whatever. So, we will be back here on Sunday for the next leg of The Investigators, which is also starting to get a bit
Dragony.
in
Right.
In
places.
the city, surrounded by giant robots, and there's a dragon coming to eat us.
Yeah, that's gonna go well.
Yeah,
Certain members fisted a golem on Sunday.
it's yeah.
Indeed. So, bearing that in mind,
Total fist column.
it's age appropriate. And we, of course, will be back here next Tuesday to continue this as the Sapphire Dragon passes by on his way to who knows what. We will see you all very soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.